Okay, so we're on segment 5 here. So we're at 40 minutes and counting. So what happens when we have the warping over, we get more than 5 accidentals here, and we get like an entire 6 strings of one of accidentals, let's say, or of white notes. So you'll see tribute to that in some of the designs uh, on the guitars, where you'll see like this big white square. You know, it's kind of a tribute to what you have here, where you have the white notes. This is really kind of almost beat up because I've been playing this, but you know, this is pretty much an all white note, you know, fret there. But it really could only be 5 of them in a row, something like that. But because of the warp over, then you'll get all of a sudden 6 of them in a row. So it makes for interesting frets. For instance, we have the missing fret here, where these are all bookend notes. These letters on here are just labels, but these are accidentals. You know, so we've got the missing fret, you know, and the missing fret is the magic fret for the key of G flat. Okay, so the fret that this is the 6th of. All right, well, in this case, you want to look at it as that would be E flat there. All right, so E flat is the 6th of G flat. All right, so going over 1, 2, 3, something like about here or something would be the key of G flat, because here this would be your G here. But notice we don't have the accidentals here because this is in a pure black and white fretboard. All right, and that's intentionally, not only because we're bringing out the string shapes. You know, these colors are very important. The way that you use the colors, that I use the colors, and I explain to you, is very useful in demonstrating certain qualities of the keyboard. For instance, versatility. You know, if I put a fret nut there, if I put a fret nut right here, then we might as well call this the key of C, because if that lowest D note is the 3rd, then we're in the key of C. Okay, so it's for the purposes of fret nut versatility. It's for the purposes of versatility that I don't have show the you know, everything in black and white, because that would be just like looking at a piano keyboard, you know, and that is versatile, but we have to have some, you know, some specifics here. So let's get to the subject of the fretboards here. So this is the string shape fretboard up top. All right, where we've talked about this, and these are the string shapes and how we build them. We go up in 5ths and we go down in 4ths. The only difference is when we're going up in 5ths, E goes to C, not to B. And then we're going down in 4ths, instead of C going to F, it will go to E shape. Okay, so these are shapes, remember, for best fit, to fit back into the caged. And that also has to do with the missing fret here. You see how there's a missing fret between shapes? That has to do with how we have the diminished 4th on the way down and the augmented 5th on the way up. In addition, these shapes, these shape banners up here, tri-pentatonic shape banners, go in 5ths going to the right, and then to the left they go in 4ths. So there's your diminished 4th, C to E. Here's your augmented 5th, E to not B, but C. So that it all came down, it all happened because of the tuning differential between the 4th and the 5th string as we count from the bottom. but we still haven't gotten to the real meat of this particular diagram. So I did explain how we have the root and the Ionian, which is root 3/5, and the Dorian, which is 2/4/6. Now 2/4/6 is like in the key of C. On the ivories is D, F, A, and root 3/5 is C, E, G on that top one. And this diagram is very powerful. Before we even get to the fun stuff, you know, it's terrible because we want to have fun, but we can't get there until we explain some of this background stuff. It's really not too bad. It's about 74 degrees in here because I'm looking up at the corner of my 32-inch, and I'm getting the 74.5 on the temperature. So what we have here, what I have here is the pattern. Remember, pattern is P4 tuning. So when you implement this in reality on the guitar, you have to warp over the usually in this diagram would be the top two strings. But remember, this is 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is 6-string diagram. But this doesn't always have to be the bottom. It could start here. You know what I'm saying? You could start the arpeggio from here. If we did that, you'd want to start it here. Let's say we're going to do a Mixolydian arpeggio, because Mixolydian's the only shape that has a 7 in it, right? Want to do a Mixolydian arpeggio starting from this string, so you'd pretend that this string is the bottom string. Then what we'd have to do, you know, once again here, this is how the patterns work. This is how, and you do this in your head, you know, but it's not as bad as you think, because it's all right there for you. It's all right there. See, then that would be a build from here. And what are we looking at here? Essentially, we're looking at if we're looking at a major, okay, so we've got 7, 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 7. So what do we got here? Starting on the 7, I guess in the key of C it'd be like, but then I have to warp that 5 over. And then we have another 5 up here, but that's not right. Uh-oh. Okay, a little bloopers there, embedded bloopers. Apparently the way that this particular diagram was set up, and of course I think this does follow the pattern effect, because as you know, patterns tend to go to the left as they build up. So here it is, and it's only 1 fret here, even though there's 3 notes there, and you just follow the one that you're following. So 5, 7, 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 7, 2. So this is the proper way that we would then look at the pattern. And it's all about versatility, using the pattern versatility. So we're going to take 6 strings from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in that way we would just look at this on the pattern. Now watch what we do. Now again, after we went ahead and built the pattern itself, you know, I moved it over to show you how you could just start it from the 3. We're going from the 3 to the 3 here. Aha. Aha, right? Now we're going to warp it over again, and guess what we got? You know, we have our C box here. What essentially is a C box here. We'll just kind of line that up. So what we're looking at essentially, well, with this fret up here,